do the example number 4. So it says, consider a set of hexagons. Hexagon is a shape with 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Constructed according to the pattern shown below. Okay. Using matches, pencils, or similar objects, construct the above figures. Draw the next 2 figures in the series. So I want you to do that. Remember to pause, try to do this example, and then see if we get to the same answer. So I have created this. I'm just going to insert it, otherwise it's going to take forever while you're watching me trying to do this. So I think I have this one is the first one. Good. And then this one. Good. I'm just going to put it on the same size, more or less, accordingly. So this one will be the next one. So this is the first one that I had to draw. And let's bring the other one. Just think, yes, it's this one. Okay, wonderful. So in this one I have 1 hexagon, 2 hexagons, 3, 4, and in the last one that I drew I have 5 hexagons. Okay, beautiful. So there you go. There we go. Then it says, draw up a table showing the relationship between the number of hexagons in the figure and the number of matches used to construct the figure. So here we only have to count. So we're going to do it here. So we say number of hexagons and then I'm going to do it like this. You can use your ruler, and then we're going to put underneath number of matches. Okay, so I know that in the first one I have 1, in the second one I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, how many do I have in the first one? How many matches? 6. In the second one do I have 6? No, because they're sharing 1. So I'm actually adding 5. So it's going to be 11. In this one I have the same ones that I have before plus another 5. So it's going to be 16, 21, and this one will be 26. You can count if you want to make sure. You can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Wonderful. So that's that. Then it says, devise a rule to describe the number of matches required for each figure in terms of the numbers of hexagon. So here is saying that they wanted to do it in terms of the numbers of hexagons. So when we're going to do that, I'm going to use a pronumeral to say how many hexagons do I have. So I'm going to say this one is going to be X. Okay. And as we have seen before when we were doing this, when we're taking the previous one and adding by 5 each time. Agree? So we are adding by 5. And this is, you have done this in year 7. So when we're adding by 5, how do we do it faster? So what we have to do, and if we say that the number of matches, I'm going to say that the number of matches is going to be Y. So when I'm doing my rule, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, okay, Y, that are the number of matches, is going to depend on how many hexagons I have. So if I have 5 hexagons, what do I have to do? I have to multiply by 5 each time. So I'm going to do 5x. But I have to adjust it because it's not only 5x. So if I took, for example, the first example, when I had it, if I multiply 1 times 5, that's what we have here, it will be 5. But then I had to add 1 more. Agree? Because only the first time I had to put 1 more. So I'm going to add 1. And this is my rule, and I'm going to check. So I'm going to say, okay, in the second time, when I had 2 hexagons, I multiplied 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 1, 11. Wonderful. Let's look at the last one. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. Wonderful. So I'm just going to recap how I did this. What I did was, I said, okay, because it said that I wanted to depend on the number of hexagons, so I defined that this one was going to be X. And then the other pronumeral is going to be the number of matches, which I said that I was going to call Y. I chose these two pronumerals, but I could have chosen any other letters. I could say A, B, or H, M, whatever I wanted. I decided to use X and Y, okay? The second thing that I see is I saw that I was adding 5 each time. How do I add 5 faster? By multiplying. So this 5 is this 5 that I have here. This 5 is this 5. Because I saw that each time I was adding 5. When I have consecutive terms, because I have the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, the fifth term. So because I'm adding 5 each time, so that's why I'm putting this one. And this plus 1 was just adjusting. I check and I said, okay, I know that I'm adding 5, but at the beginning I had one extra match, that is the one that we're sharing later on. So I have to add that one. So this add one is what I do and adjust. And then when I was adjusting, I check downwards. That's when I check and I say, okay, I had to add one, and this one is what I have here. Okay, when I adjusted to adjust, I check the relationship between hexagons and matches, and I decided that this was going to be what I needed to do to adjust that rule. Wonderful, and this video is taking long. Use your rule to determine the number of matches required to make a figure consisting of 20 hexagons. So now I know to use my rule. What do we have to do? Sub in. So when x is equal to 20, what do I have to do? Say y is equal to 5 times 20 plus 1. And we know that that's 100 plus 1, which is 101 matches. So we can write it here in our table if we want. We can continue to also, if I have 20 here, this one is going to be 101. Wonderful, girls.